Welcome to Power Hour, where the editors of Power Sports Business interview the movers and shakers of the power sports industry.
It's Madelyn again with Power Sports Business Magazine and our Power Hour podcast. Today I'm here with Mike and Misty, who are a father-daughter duo, and they own Rich's Yamaha. How are you guys today?
Wonderful. And yourself?
I'm good, thank you. Like I was just saying, I'm excited to talk to you guys. It's always inspiring and exciting to talk to people who have family-operated dealerships. And we've spoke before, and you guys are really tight, and I'm excited for everybody else to hear your story. So to get started, Mike, I just wanted to ask about your background, how you got involved at Rich's Yamaha, and a bit about the former owner, who I believe was a kind of a mentor for you.
Yes. So it started in 1986. And actually it was before that. It was 85 I met the man, maybe 84. And I was running a business for my parents, and I was an enthusiast. So I came in and bought a 1985 VMAX. And at that point, me and him kind of bonded, and we were both kind of in a similar position. He was having problems at home with his family and wife, and I was the same way. And so we kind of like had things to talk about that were similar. As time went on, he ended up being single, and so was I. And he was flying around and doing things and became a airplane pilot and loved doing that. And then I kind of started running this store because my parents were in the process of retiring. We have a trucking company, and I was a pinnacle in that. And then after that, he kind of took me under his wing. My father passed away in 1987, I think, maybe it was somewhere around there, 1986. And then their business was gone at that point, and then he wanted to find a partner because he wanted more free time for himself, and I guess I was that. So he mentored me a solid 30 years, and
wow,
I'm where I'm at today because of it. He had old visions versus all these new visions. So if you look at what car dealers are doing today and stuff like that, they're pretty progressive and pushing forward, pushing hard. And he was old school. You call your customers, you keep them forever. They come back, and their families come back. We've got generations of customers. It's wonderful. And we get our share of new customers too. With the challenges out there, lots of dealers have closed up, whether it's Suzuki, Yamaha, Harley-Davidson. So because we're here so long, we've got a presence in the market, and we got a pretty darn good CSI. We're holding 4.8, and we haven't done anything to work that up other than asking a customer here and there to, ask them to give us a Google review. We haven't done the promoting of the Google or any of that. Dealers got thousands, and it's pretty hard to get any. But it's easy to get one if you make them mad. Let me tell you, holy smokes! And of course, Misty started here when she was a baby, as well as all my other kids. And I used to bring them here, and she would play with her dolls in the corner over there. And then watching Dad and helping me clean and doing this and doing that, she ended up in CAD class, and she wanted to do the mechanical building and stuff like that. And then she ended up at McDonald's, and then I was like, I need you here, because she was too good at the McDonald's.
My first job was McDonald's, right?
Yeah. I need you here because she was really good. And she was leading up the ladder there, and I was nervous I wasn't going to be able to retain her. So we got her here, and she's been here. How many years have you been here now?
It's been it has to be 15.
Yeah, a long
17
time.
years.
Did you start right out of college, Misty?
I worked here part-time. So I went to school for manufacturing and engineering and computer-aided drafting. And then I was doing that, and I worked at McDonald's. And then my dad was like, I could use a little bit of help here. So I would help. I started in the office a little bit, and then I kind of worked my way out in the parts department. He had one parts guy that actually wanted to pursue a different dream of his, and he worked here a long time. So my dad was like, well, can you learn a bit from him and then see if you could pick up some of that slack for us, because we're going to need some help. And I was like, sure, no problem. And I started over there, and then while going to school, and then I kind of left McDonald's, worked more here. And then I kind of stopped school and started more here, and just kind of excelled. I never left. I just kept growing. I mean, there's so much to learn every day. I learn something new for sure. But like you said, when I was a kid, cleaning helmets, and then I did office work, and then I kind of started in the parts department, and now I could run a full store. I could do parts service sales. I could
That's
do it
awesome.
all.
So what is your current role? I know you're a part owner, but what is your role day to day?
I think you would just call me like a general manager, because I like to oversee everything. I like to have a part of every part of the dealership. I like to know what's going on at any given second. So, and issues that come addressed or anything like that, it's going to be me in the front line at the customer every time. So,
so our biggest challenge is keeping all three parts of this business rolling. We got your service, your parts, and your sales. The service is probably the biggest challenge, retaining people, hiring quality people. I mean, anybody can hire somebody on the street, but to find somebody that's going to work on your personal item, that's kind of tough, and then there's the issue and this and that. It's just a challenge. It's been a challenge for the almost 40 years I've been here. We've got employees that have been here for many years. Misty's like 15, maybe over that. I've got 38. I have another son that's been here 10. Jack, our main mechanic, has been here. God, he's 15, 20 years too, right?
A little less than me, yeah.
Yeah. He's been here that long. And we make a really good team. And then we fill in with the secondary. So we go A, B, C. Your A mechanic would be your Jack. And then we got a couple of Bs. And then, of course, the Cs are the easy ones to find. And then after you pass that area, then you go into the service, from service to parts. And then you've got your people there. But the biggest thing is, if you just stand there, and when a customer comes in and says, I need a spark plug, here you go, have a nice day. That's not sales. That's not making it happen. That's probably the downturn of a lot of dealers, because they need to get those people to upsell. They need that, but they also need an oil filter. Where are they going to get it? If they leave here, I was at Menards yesterday. I went there to get salt. I bought some, garbage tool or something. And I'm walking out the door. I'm halfway to the car. I'm like, I forgot my salt. I got to go back. That's on me. And then it's the same thing with consumers walking out our door. If you don't remind them, they don't buy it.
So how do you make sure that your salespeople do that then? How do you guys train them?
We've been on DX1 since what, 2018?
2019, December of 2019.
Yeah, and it's been really good. We left Lightspeed and went to them. And they've got some simple, it's easy to operate a system, whether it's yours or mine or Lightspeed or DX1, if that's all you do. But like Misty said, she's a jack of all trades, and she changes the hat every 10 minutes. So when you're changing the hat, it's hard to focus and learn about one product. So DX1, it seemed to have been a little easier. You got a program in there that'll tell you how your business is doing in each area. And it's actually really easy, and it's really good. So we can see that and monitor it daily, weekly, monthly, yearly. And we could see if there's an increase and why there's a decrease, if there's an increase and why there's an increase. So you can go look in both ends of that. But very good.
We also like to hire employees that have interest in the sports. So they kind of know when the customer comes up to the counter, they kind of know what they're going to need.
Right.
These aren't people that, have been selling Starbucks coffee and never rode a motorcycle before. Everybody that works here has an interest in what we do. It's a passionate, it's a business of passion for sure. Yep. So, when they come up to the counter, if you're riding a motorcycle, they're going to suggest the chain lube, they're going to suggest oil filter, things like that. So, I mean, these are, people that have knowledge on the business. So we just suggest, we just tell our parts people, just suggest those extra things that the customer might not be
upselling,
thinking about at that time of purchase, if they're coming in for just a bolt or something.
Sales. Yes.
Yeah.
So we have sales. We do F&I, and we do the sales of the machines. We're finding that the F&I is becoming a integral part of our profit. It's quite massive. It's
for sure.
Good. The selling of that, we're coming up with some good techniques there, and some of the things like gap insurance that we've been scared to sell family places. Like, what are you going to do that? Come on. But the factories have changed from dealer cost and MSRP having a separation to dealer cost and MSRP are like clapping hands. So when you're allowed to do 130% of financing, it's taxes, title, license plates, and the machine. You can't even get the freight cost in there anymore. So now that's an issue that we're trying. So back to the gap problem is you really have to offer them because everybody's at 130%. Well, insurance is going to give you 80. That's a 50% swing. Now, if something, God forbid, was to happen to that customer, what's he going to do? How's he going to replace the machine? He can't afford to because now he's got to make payments on a machine that's gone, stolen, missing, who knows? So with the gap, it's covered. Yamaha offers a real nice incentive. They give you an extra $1,000 if you choose their gap policy to help buy that new motorcycle. So boom, they not only got their insurance money to cover it, then the gap covers it, and it's a few dollars a month. Not that I'm trying to sell you anything. In my heart, it's at that point where this is a necessity. It's not something you just offer. It's almost like your pays for the machine.
We've always, we sell quite a bit of machines, and we've never had. We just started growing our F&I business. Actually, recently. This summer is our first summer really selling it. We've offered Yamaha products with the Yamaha machine and CF Moto products with the CF Moto machines, but now we just started getting into like aftermarket, F&I business.
Yes.
But before that, it was just kind of the basic things. We always just machines, and it's always very easy process here. It's no stress sale at all. Our sales desk, we have one sales desk. It's usually one salesperson. It's me or my brother. It was mostly me. Now I'm training my brother to kind of take over a little bit. And then we have another salesperson we just kind of hired recently, our first not family salesperson.
Wow.
We're going out of the bounds here. It's new for us. Which
So
is cool.
will your salespeople also handle the F&I sale, or are y'all working towards handing that off to a different employee?
Currently, it's integrated, to all the salespeople. Kind of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
We don't push really hard. We push the feel that they need to save them in the future.
Yeah.
If it's just a profit thing for us, it's secondary to us. What's most important is that customer comes back.
Yeah.
And to save him one way or another.
Yeah.
And we kind of tell him, like, look, you're at 130%. You put down another couple of thousand, so that puts you a little bit higher. At least you can get your money back if something was to happen, and it's $5.
Yeah.
It's not detrimental. We make a couple of bucks, or we can even lower it to make nothing just to save them. So we have a customer that we know is coming back.
Yes.
Yeah.
More important than the dollar in our pocket,
Right.
Because that adds up. Tire. 600 miles.
It's a very simple process. We have the one sales desk. What the salesperson will handle the F&I. It's not going to be like going to a separate room. It's not like a car dealership where if you're negotiating with somebody, you got to go and go to the guy in the office. If somebody has a question or wants a discount or something, they'll just ask me.
Yeah. And I can see the perks of the other process, but also it seems like that would also be less intimidating as a customer.
Yeah. It's a very easy process, right?
Yeah. So you mentioned that you just hired your first non-family salesperson. So I thought maybe one of you could share how many family members work with you guys. Because when I first learned that, I was like, oh, wow, that's awesome.
So it's my dad and me. And then I have another brother here, Trevor, who's been here 10 years. I've got another brother, Lester. He's our stepbrother, but he's still a brother. And
they all got nicknames.
Yeah. And then I have one younger brother, Brandon.
We got Nee. This is
Nee.
We got the dude. We got Mr. B, and we got La.
Yes.
And how they got them names is when they were kids. So her brother couldn't say Misty. He would say Nee.
Yeah.
So became Nee. So here she is. She's an old woman. And she got a nickname. Then we got the dude.
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got Mr. B. It's Brandon. And then Lester is La.
Yeah.
So
and then we do have a sister too that she doesn't work at the dealership per se, but like when we post stuff on Facebook, if there's grammatical errors, she'll kind of go in on the background and fix them for us.
She's the brains of the family. She's a registered nurse, and she saves people. Actually, she saves people over the phone. That's kind of interesting.
That's what she does.
That's what she does.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's really
emergency
cool.
her, and then she handles it through the phone and coordinates what's going to happen. So
Wow.
it's kind of weird, but I mean, it is what it is. Everybody's got it, and that's hers.
Yeah. That's really cool that she has that passion, but then also kind of has her hands in the family business. It's really cool. Okay, let me pull up my notes really quick. Oh, Misty, I wanted to ask. So I know that you're 11 months pregnant, or not 11 months pregnant.
Yeah,
You have an 11-month-old, and you're also pregnant.
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell me what it's like? I think you mentioned you get to see your son quite a bit throughout the day, but that's a lot to take on, while also running a dealership. So can you just tell me a bit about how it is and what it's like for you?
I'm very fortunate. We've got, she's part of our family. She's not related to us, but she's been in our lives for a long time. And
The babysitter?
Babysitter, yes. And she lives on the property. We have a kind of like an apartment complex kind of right next to us that we own. And she lives on the property. So I bring my baby George to work with me in the morning, and then I could drop him. I drop him off right there and come into work. And when we're slow, I'll go back and forth all day and kind of, see him.
Yeah.
And she'll bring him over all the time. And, he's not walking yet. He just turned 1 last week. So it's kind of exciting.
That is awesome.
Less than 200 feet to our left shoulders. Bought those apartments back in the day, more of a challenge. We're in the motorcycle industry. They make noise. So people that used to live there are like, well, you can't park here. Tell your customers. And it's like, no problem. So I bought the property.
There you go.
Everybody's happy. It's amazing.
Well, and I know you guys are kind of set up to expand, so I want to get into that. But also, I just wanted to say, Misty, it's really cool that you have your career and your family, and I think that there's a balance there that's probably hard to find. But it's really cool that you're making them both work.
Yes, I love my job so much. I probably part of the reason is working with my dad, because I love my dad so much. But I want that same bond that I have with my dad, I want my kids to have with me. So I want to kind of build my own little empire, So I got baby George, and then his sister's coming in a month from now. And I know it's exciting. And then eventually they're going to be like me, cleaning helmets, And they do a good job. Maybe they could ride some dirt bikes out back, and they'll become passionate about it too, and maybe take over for me one day, because it would be kind of cool.
So my sister works with my dad at a dealership here in my local town, and she has a 2-year-old. Her name is Bella, and she's kind of said the same thing. She really would never push it on her, but hopes that Bella will want to be a part of the family business too, and she's very passionate, just like you guys are. So, yeah. Okay, so Mike, I know that you own a lot of the property around the dealership, and that's kind of in preparation for expansion in the future. Yeah, can you kind of tell me just what your plans are? I know you guys are having to wait on some technical issues, but yeah.
So probably how it's going to end up coming down is, I've got about 7.5, 8 acres around here right now. I've got, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses on that 8 acres. And I also have the Yamaha store and a storage facility on that same property. Okay. So the reason for getting all that is, as time goes on, one of the biggest challenges is arguments with neighbors and parking and controlling the area. So if you can safer buying all that, and then I can put people into the homes that understand that this is a store, and if they don't like it, they can leave.
Yeah.
Simple, So, I'm kind of like the governor.
You have your own little empire.
Yeah,
there you go. So I can control the noise, from the people who live here. And one day when those all come down, we can build we have enough land now. We can build it. I got about 650 feet on the main highway up front, which is more than enough entrance. Yeah. And I go back about 800 feet. So I'm really good, So there's no issues here, and we can build. I guess in the turmoil, we're in the highest tax state in the country, or at least the second highest. We're probably the highest, but they don't want to take that crown. But when I can make a deal and we can get our water and sewer through here. There's a few things that need to happen. I will consider that. The building they built down the street, he's like 25,000 square feet, and his taxes are 130,000 a year, or 100. No, they're at 100,000 right now for him. That's a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
We're outselling him, and my taxes are not even 10% of his. So
yeah.
I've got the extra money. So if we're going to build a thing, what am I going to have? Are we really going to have any more business? So we're looking at that too. It's like we got a fire hose and we get all the water we need out of it. So to add a second fire hose is like, we need that today.
So y'all are just waiting for the moment that it is needed, and yeah, okay. And
the cost of money today is very expensive. Commercial loans and rates are probably close to 10% for somebody. So you borrow $4 million. You got a $45,000-$50,000 payment on that, plus your taxes of another 100,000 or 10,000 more a month. So now you got $60,000 a month to have a building, and that doesn't include all your insurances and this and that. So it's something to think about. But it will happen. It will happen.
I mean, you're prepared for it, so
we are sure.
There's foresight there. And I wanted to mention for our listeners that you guys are located in Lockport, Illinois. Is that right?
Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah.
It's like 30 minutes south of Chicago.
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, we're down the street from where the Blues Brothers had their the prison. If you remember the prison for the Blues Brothers. No? Did you ever watch the Blues Brothers? Jake and Elwood? You never seen that? Oh,
no, I'm going to have to look it up.
Right. That prison's just down the street about probably 10 miles.
We even get traffic because we're really close to Route 66.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we get a lot of traffic from Route 66. People stop by to see another motorcycle shop, some people from other countries too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of,
Right. We get quite a few of those.
Yeah.
They're traveling through because it's kind of like in the Route 66 route.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And kind of a broad topic, but the last one I really wanted to be sure we touch on is just where you see where the industry is at and where your dealership is at, kind of some things that you guys are keeping your eye on. I think last time, just go ahead. Let's talk about electric. You brought up electric. You guys are selling the Yamaha. Is it the bicycles, the electric bicycles?
Yeah.
Correct.
So how is that going for you guys?
I don't know. I think it's done well.
I think it's going well. Yeah, this is our first season with it. We picked them up in the fall.
Right.
So this is our first summer.
I think October, November, they first shipped in last year.
Okay. Are they taking off this summer, really?
Yes, they did. Yes. We have a lot of,
How many we saw?
I think, probably about 20, 25.
25 to 30 maybe.
Yeah. We have a lot of bicycle paths around us.
Yeah.
So it's growing. I mean, the paths around here are growing. Whenever I go driving someplace, I feel like they're just building another bicycle path someplace. So there's a lot of ride bicycles around us. And
Yamaha's got a pretty good mousetrap too. It's a nice,
very nice
bicycle. And they're getting aggressive. They're giving some pretty good incentives for customers to buy them. Current customers. So they're calling the customer that bought from them before and asking them if they'd like to come in and buy a $6,500 motor or bicycle. They'll get $100 off the price. That's huge.
Yeah.
I would buy it myself.
Yeah.
It is wonderful. And I guarantee every customer an extra 2 days on the end of their life. And if they don't get it, they're welcome to come back and I'll give them a refund.
Yeah. Have you guys gotten to try them out yourselves at all?
Oh, yes.
Well, not me yet, but my dad and my brothers, they actually go out on the weekends. So
you have to get her a 2-seater.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And again, kind of a broad question, but what are your expectations for 2025? I think a lot of people seem to be 2025, they say, is the year that they expect more positive things from. What are you guys thinking?
So the way I grew up in my last whole bunch of years, we get a new president, whoever we get, we got the work up to the new president currently. And that their first year, we should say, and what the experts are saying, because I always ask everybody that's of any prominence, and then their best guess is it's going to hold like we see today, will hold through next year.
Okay.
And will happen after that. Fed's talking about dropping the rate, but you know what? That's not going to matter because, what the factories charge, Yamaha's 13.5% on floor plan and 14.5% on their watercraft. So they're not bashful. I mean, your charge card in your pocket's probably the same. So we are working side by side with them, and they're charging us like we're a Capital One customer with a charge card that's late. It's like, really?
Yeah.
So paying down your own floor planning becomes a huge savings. Every 100,000 into a machine is $1,300 you can save. 11. So that's a lot of money. You can't get that at the bank. So,
right.
You try to be frugal, run your store carefully, and it should be okay. Now, next year's sales should track what this year's is. The problem that we always see is Yamaha keeps pushing us up the ladder. So,
right. Will we make our targets?
Well, yeah. Not only that, then you get your money, but then they raise the targets. It's like booming metropolis that, we get 10 motorcycles, but we have customers for 110. So it's like something wrong with that picture. And I think your father has that problem too. It's like their expectations of the dealerships are just totally whacked. And then they make you take all the stuff, and then half the time they don't ship it. And then when they do, they ship it late. But we have motorcycles come in October, November. It's like, do that. They don't see most states in November. It don't happen. When it rains, we need umbrellas.
And do you carry Yamaha? Do you also, was it CF Moto that you also carry? So how's your relationship with them, dealership OEM? How is that?
CF Moto's been fantastic.
It's very easy.
Yeah, I think they should be a little bit more aggressive because we do forget things. Like, I think one of the orders our DM forgot to put in this order, and it's like, where's the machines, Misty? We're running out.
And I kept asking,
are we going to get these
ATVs? Oh, they're coming.
He
And
forgot
then
to put it.
never put the order in. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's very lax. It's very lax. So different than Yamaha, right? You order what you want, whereas Yamaha tells you what you have to order.
Gotcha.
And if you order it, you get penalized. But as far as CF Moto goes, they're just like, well, what are you comfortable selling? Because they're not.
Yeah, Yamaha will charge you $600 to cancel a unit. Cancel it, you get nothing. So, it's always lopsided. But we work around that, and we do. It works out okay. And we've been fortunate. We clean up our inventory pretty good. So we have the floor planning issues.
Right. And, we picked up CF Moto in April of 21, and obviously during COVID there was nothing on the showroom floor, so we needed something to sell. We looked at a couple other brands before we picked up CF Moto, and they were the best by far, and they really
seem to have really proven themselves. I think I haven't really heard anything negative from dealers.
Oh, and our profitability, if I look at it versus Yamaha, we make more with CF Moto. Okay, but our gross numbers are higher with Yamaha, but we've been Yamaha for 60 years.
Right.
So we expect that automatic customer. So we are outsell CF Moto with Yamaha.
Yeah. So we're just growing our store by adding this other brand.
To make the same money with Yamaha, you have to sell at least 100 units. If you sell 50 with CF Moto, you've made Yamaha money. So you do have to work and make Yamaha money. So that's depending on how you plan your business, and stuff like that. You could do well with it. They're a good company, and they're progressive, always changing things. BNG isn't in their vocabulary. That's bold new graphics, and give you new machines. They'll go to a V twin from a single cylinder. They'll give you all new colors, all new design. And Yamaha more than that is BNG. They do have a handful of really great selling machines. Their R7s, their MT-07s, their MT-09 SP this year is amazing. It just came out a week ago, this year's model. And but we've already sold a couple of them in a week. It's like, wow,
Okay.
The women's stand on the ladder is probably 25 to 30 in the country.
Yeah.
And one in our state.
Awesome.
And, one in our region.
Okay. That's great. Okay. Is there anything else you would like to talk about, whether it's about OEMs or anything else about our industry before I let you guys go?
Wave runners?
Yeah.
They just got released for the 2025 year. And I was surprised. Yamaha's created half a Spark. You know what a Spark is? Okay. So the Spark is a plastic machine that Sea-Doo made. And Yamaha's plastic on the top and fiberglass on the bottom, so it's half a spark. That's my ignorant way of saying it, but it actually looks good, built well, and I think it's probably going to fly. And it's like $12,000 to $8,000 in that range. So we're going to be able to populate more people with something they can enjoy and have fun. When it started in 1986, 87, 88, when we picked them up originally, all we had was them 5 wave runners. They look like duckbills, and they were wonderful. 32 horse or 35 horse, and they did 30 miles an hour, and everybody was happy. Now we're doing 70 miles an hour, and people can't go fast enough.
It's crazy.
It's crazy stuff. But now there's this new
Jet
Blaster Pro and Jet Blaster and EXR. They're coming to attrition. Yamaha has jumped us up about 25% in our. So we go from ordering X to ordering X, and it's like, wait a minute, there's a 25% change. So, but if you order it, you get no floor planning. So they kind of holding you hostage on that. It's like, really, that's $50 worth of machines. What? I need a couple of dollars worth of floor planning help here. We don't want to give this stuff away and ruin the market.
Sometimes these major OEMs don't feel like they're on our side. They're like almost against us, trying to make us go out of business or something. And we just
it's easy done.
Yeah. It's like every year we succeed, we're like, we got you.
See, that's I think it's important to have a good relationship. I wish OEMs, I think they are working towards it and they're trying to listen to their dealers, but it's a partnership, and that's, I think, an important aspect of the, And I wanted to ask real quick, you guys also sold the Yamaha snowmobiles, and this 2025 is the last. So what is the feelings there? Is that a bit bitter? Not even bittersweet. Is that just kind of a tough one?
So to give you an idea, right now we have 19 customers that have deposits on machines. Okay. Which I think is really good for us. That's a good number. Okay. And then we got maybe another 10 to sell after that. Right?
Okay.
Right. And that's it. We're done. So what's my guess? What's going to happen? Well, of course, Yamaha is going to pull out, or they may change it the last minute and come back with something.
I don't know.
And why did they do that? I don't know.
Maybe we'll know in a year.
I think it was an argument between them and Arctic.
Probably.
I'm not sure, but for them to just throw away a whole industry, it's like, well, I don't know.
Well, I mean, they haven't made. And we kind of seen it coming, because partnerships with other OEMs don't last forever. Right. That thing. But, and there's always competition on who's going to be better.
They don't got no problem going in partners with CF Moto.
Well, that's in China right now. But they stopped making, Japanese machines back in 2018 was the last year, or 16 or 18 for the Apex. That was the last Japanese made snowmobile. So there really hasn't been much coming out of Japan. But so we kind of seen it coming. We talked about it for a long time. It's going to be sick. We have a whole presence for snowmobile gear. I mean, I always tell everybody, my parts department, we work hard twice a year putting up the snow gear and taking the snow gear, because we don't have a very big showroom, and we dedicate half of it to snowmobile gear. Just to make, because the season's so short, you have to have everything in stock for that customer, because when they're coming in, they're ready to buy now. There's no time to order. Snow could be gone the next day. So make sure you have everything in stock. It's I don't know. We're open 7 days a week. So even in winter time, where most dealers are closed Sundays, Mondays, sometimes Wednesdays, and it's because they're motorcycle only, and we don't sell motorcycles in the wintertime. We'll sell ATVs, yes, and the snowmobiles
is a big,
but without that, I don't know what's gonna.
So I'm gonna throw something in there. I think somebody's gonna come along. I don't know who, and they're gonna say, "Hey, you guys have been selling snowmobiles for 60 years. You interested in technology?" That may happen.
Yes.
And if that don't happen, well, we'll weather it out one way or another.
Right.
Or the Japanese are going to come back and do it again, because it's a big world. And they don't only make them for us, they make them for everybody.
Right.
Russia, China, there's mountains everywhere in the world. So, what happens? We end up on Mars. They got hills there,
Yeah. Well, I hope you guys get to take on another line, just because I know that you have the knowledge. And do you both ride or snowmobiles? Yeah. So I mean,
What state are you in?
I'm in Arkansas, so it's not even an option for me. I don't get to do that.
So time in your life you're able to, you really need to go like into Wisconsin and Michigan, maybe in the UP. Go rent a snowmobile and try it. It's a whole world.
I got to ride one time when I went to Power Sports Business's office headquarters, and I don't know any of the lingo even hardly, but the snow was not the best conditions. And it was really fun already for me. But yeah, they've told me that I need to get up there earlier in the winter and experience it.
It's the camaraderie and the trail system. So you leave and you'll drive for an hour and signs stating that there's a nice restaurant over here, and everybody pulls in there. You can get your hot chocolate and the food you've ever had because it's all like country made and biscuits and gravy. And then you get on and you drive 2 hours, you hit another restaurant. By the time you come back, you gained 100 pounds. Yeah. It is the coolest. It is so beautiful. You're sitting on a feet of snow and you got all of the evergreens. It's like, you can't give this up. This is a sight that you'll never see again.
Yeah.
Okay. So I live here near Chicago, and I've never seen snow 10 feet deep. But I've got a picture of a guy standing there with a snowblower, and the snow's 5 feet above his head. It was amazing. Wow. It was in
that was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was up like near Lake in the Clouds. I think it was in the UP.
Okay.
Man, beautiful. Holy. You need to do that time in your life. Don't do that.
I'll definitely get up there.
Amazing. You can wear the clothes and they look good now. They're not just puffy. You don't look like the Michelin. You can put them on and you're going to look great. You'll be a Barbie doll on the trail.
Soon. Hopefully this winter, maybe even. So, okay. Well, you guys, I really appreciate your time and got to learn a lot from you guys. Best of luck the rest of 2024. Yeah. And I'll catch you guys next time.
Good luck to your dad and his.
Thank you.
You're working with him?
Yeah. My older sister. She's the GM and part owner. Yep.
Nice. Yeah. What brand is up?
PRP. One line.
Right. Okay. That's okay. Yeah. They got stuff. They're like Yamaha. They got a little bit of everything.
Oh yeah. Because they also have the pontoons. So they're set up pretty good.
Wonderful. Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to connect with us on powersportsbusiness.com.